Rabotai is an important message to every single person today. Today, your relationship with Hakadosh Baruch Hu will determine whether Hashem will protect you and your family or not. Whether Hakadosh Baruch Hu loves you or not. And even though there are definitely different places that you see where Hashem loves Am Yisrael, and He promises never to destroy them. Yes, you're right. At the same token, you see the Rambam writes that before a person does tshuva, he's a sinner, he's considered disgusting, an abomination, a hater, an enemy of God, and all types of horrible adjectives describe an enemy of God. But after he does tshuva, he's loved, he's beloved, he's a friend, he's important, he's all these wonderful things. So we see that there is a difference between what some Chachamim are saying and what Chachamim are saying. So what's the clarification? Clarification is as follows. When it's talking about the nation as a whole, HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves us. It's unconditional love, and He promises to always keep Am Yisrael. He will rebuke us, He will punish us, but He will not destroy us like He destroyed all of our enemies, the Babylonians, the Assyrians, the Spaniards, the Romans, the Greeks, soon the Ishmaelim, and all of the other enemies of Am Yisrael. He's not going to destroy us like He's going to destroy them, or He did destroy them, but He does certainly hurt us. He does certainly punish us. But when it comes to individuals, that's a different story. He will love you or hate you based on how you act. You follow the Torah, you're beloved with Hashem. You ignore the Torah, you're an enemy of God. You're a heretic, you're an idol worshiper, you cause people to sin, you cause people to go away from Hashem, you cause Jews to die in different ways, you're an enemy of God, and your punishment will literally be endless. And this is, Rabotai, what HaKadosh Baruch Hu starts off with in this prophecy. Furthermore, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I made His mountains a desolation and gave His heritage to the desert serpents. Though Edom will say, we have become destitute, but we will return and rebuild the ruins. Thus says Hashem, Master of Legions, they may build, but I will tear down. They will be called the boundary of wickedness, and the people whom Hashem has condemned forever. And your eyes will behold it, and you will say upon the territory of Israel, may Hashem be glorified. Here Kadosh Baruch Hu is telling us a short message to all of the enemies of His Torah, all of the people that are part of Edom, that are idol worshippers, that are missionizing for Jews to abandon Judaism, all of those people, the end doesn't look very good. You want more details? Go to the Prophet Ovadia. Prophet Ovadia, the whole book is about this. The whole book is about it, and it literally talks about what's going to happen to Edom. Either way, Rabotai Karim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says that this Edom, this Esav, he may build. He'll build big empires, big towers, big cities, big countries, big budgets, big markets, and Hashem destroys. And he'll let him build again. Big towers, big buildings, big cities, big markets, and Hashem destroys. And we've seen this time and time again. We've seen the Romans, we've seen the Greeks, we've seen the Spaniards, we've seen the Nazis, we've seen a lot of them. Go up, 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 boom. Up, 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 boom. Why? Hashem keeps them under control until the end, where those that remain enemies of God and His Torah are annihilated permanently. And those that are His servants will actually see this, and Hashem's name will be glorified. Hashem's name will be glorified. Now, furthermore, the one thing that we see across the entire book of Malachi is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu continues to describe Himself as God, Master of Legions. Hashem that is not just the Hashem that we know, but Hashem Tzivakot. Hashem Tzivakot. What does it mean? Hashem is telling us here, I don't need you as a people. I don't need this world. if you're telling me what? I need servants? I am the God master of legions. I have countless angels at all times. And you see literally in almost every single verse in the book of Malachi, Hashem describes himself as Hashem Tzivakot, Hashem Tzivakot, Hashem Tzivakot, Hashem Tzivakot, over and over again, to constantly remind us that He is the greatest God. He is the only true God. He doesn't need the creation. He doesn't need anything. He has endless amount of servants. All of this that's done in this world is for you, my dear son. For my dear children, Am Yisrael. It's not for Hashem's sake. He doesn't need this. This, Rabotai, is important for a person to know and not get confused to think that, oh yeah, God needs my good deeds. God needs my tzedakah. God needs my charity. God needs my mitzvahs. God doesn't need anything. If He needed something, then whoever is the one that provided them, that's God. And obviously we know that's not possible. So furthermore, the Prophet tells us, aside from letting us know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the master of legions, He hates people based on their actions and not necessarily based on where they came from. Like if sometimes I meet people and I say, oh, listen, you observe Shabbat, you keep kosher. He goes, no, listen, my grandfather was a big rabbi. Okay, great, but what about you? Well, my grandmother was a big tzadikah. Fantastic, but what about you? Not so much. Not so much. Listen, no matter how great your grandfather was, he wasn't greater than Avraham Avinu. Esav's grandfather was Avraham Avinu. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu says here, I hate Esav. I hate Esav. Why? Because of what he did. Because of what he did. Just like Hashem hates Ishmael, that is literally doing all types of evils in the world right now to cause as much harm as possible to the Jewish people. They may think that Hashem loves them, but they don't realize that Hashem hates them. And the prophet Daniel says that the biggest punishment that Hashem will give at the end of days will be to the biggest enemy of the Jews at the time, which is Ishmael. Unless, of course, we're talking about the nation. Individuals, everyone can make their choice. Whether you're going to be a supporter of Torah and the truth and obviously love the Jewish people as children, then you are removing yourself from the status of being a Hashem's, a boxing bag in the future. You're removing yourself from being destined to go to Gehenom forever. But if you are supporting the terror, supporting the terrorism, supporting the horrible massacres that are happening, then of course you are spilling your own blood. It's like committing suicide without even realizing it yet. Furthermore, the Prophet gives us some more instructions. Some more instructions of how do we get to this point? Hashem says, despite the fact that I love you, and I proved it to you, of how I love you for you, and that one of the gifts that I gave you is to protect you, but even more so, eventually I'll allow you to see the demise of your enemies. What about now? Let's talk about the feeling back. What you feel about me, says Hashem. Verse number 6 in chapter 1 says, a son will honor his father, and a servant his master. If I am a father, where's my honor? If I am a master, where is my fear, says Hashem, master of legions. To you, the Kohanim, who scorn my name, you say, how have we scorned your name? You present my altar loathsome food, and you say, how have we loathed you? By your saying, the table of Hashem is repulsive. Here, Kadosh Baruch Hu says something that much breaks your heart when you really understand it. He says to us, A son honors his father, and a servant honors his master. So if you consider me your father, where's the honor? Where's the honor that you give God in your business, in your marriage, in your day-to-day life? Do you honor God on a day-to-day basis? Or you honor yourself, and if you happen to honor God in the process, that's good too. And if you consider me your master, where's the fear? Where's the Yirat Shamayim? Where's the fear of the Almighty? Did you think about the consequence of your sin before you did it? Did you think about the consequence of the adultery before you committed it? Not just the consequence of what your wife is going to think. The consequence of what HaKadosh Baruch Hu has to do to you as a result of your sin. Did you think about what's going to happen as a result of the immorality, or you just ignored it? Hashem says, wait, you said I'm your master. So if I'm your master, how come you're not afraid of me? But yet the response was, when do we act this way? People are acting stupid. So what commandment are you actually following exactly? What 10 commandments are you following exactly? So a person thinks that he's honoring God, but in reality, he's honoring himself. And that's what the prophet Isaiah says, in their mouth and their lips they honor me, but their heart was far from me. This, Rabotai, is important for a person to know, that your honor of HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not something you keep in your heart. Your honor for HaKadosh Baruch Hu must be something that you're constantly thinking about and looking for ways to express on a regular basis. Whether it's in your job, or it's in your marriage, or it's in anything else that you do. Anything else that you do, it's important for you to express honor for HaKadosh Baruch Hu in every single thing that you do. So, we're going to continue.